Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Hall and I am an instructor at the 81st Faculty Development Flight. I teach the EIDL course, which is Instructor Developer of Online Learning. It's actually the online version of our basic instructor course. And I'm going to take a few minutes now to go over some of the features that Blackboard Collaborate has for online instructors as you are taking this time and converting your face-to-face courses into the online environment. When you first get into your Collaborate room, the very first thing that you will want to do is open the Collaborate panel. And when you do this, you have settings available for you. The first is My Settings. This is where you can change your picture, set up your camera and microphone as well, and check your speaker volume. Next are the notification settings, and this is where you can shut off notifications that will come through when students post a chat message, if they leave or enter the Collaborate room, if they raise a hand. Sometimes these notifications can become quite distracting. Ideally, you would love to have two instructors inside the Collaborate room, one who is doing the lecturing and the other who is monitoring the chat window. That person will answer any questions that the students may have and also help them troubleshoot any problems that might arise during your session. And last but definitely not least are the session settings. The first stop you as the instructor want to make when you first enter your Collaborate room. Here is where you can give participants access to share their audio, video, post chat messages, and draw on the whiteboard and share files. If you do not click these boxes at the beginning of your session, and you must do this at the beginning of every single session, your students will not be able to interact with you at all. When you're instructing and you're asking questions and you don't hear anyone answer, no one's posting in the chat, to troubleshoot that, the very first spot to go to would be your session settings tab, and make sure that you've marked all those boxes off for your students to be able to interact with you. Next is probably the most important tab, Blackboard Collaborate, and that is your Share Content tab. Here you can share a blank whiteboard. Your students have tools up here. They can draw on the whiteboard and they can text anything they would like. It's a really good activity for you to have at the beginning of the session when you're waiting for everybody to join, and students can just go on here and draw pictures, and it's a great collaborative active learning exercise just to get everybody ready in the morning before you start. To stop that, you just hit the stop sharing button. The next is your share application and screen. Here is where you can actually share your entire screen, an application window, or if you're only working from a single screen, you can do the Chrome tab, and that allows you to share a screen as well. It's very important that if you have a video that you would like to play that has audio, that you click the share audio button so your students will be able to hear that audio. Here you can share files, you can add any PowerPoints, PDF files, anything you would like to choose here. There are some files that will not upload, but if you convert those to the proper format, you'll be able to share those files here. Next, there's a polling feature where you can create polling questions, multiple choice or yes, no, and you can get a sense on where the students are with a certain knowledge level. You could ask a question, and if a lot of students feel like they know that very well, then you know that you might not have to dive real deep into that subject. And last are the breakout groups. This is a great way to get your students together and collaborating and working in groups. Great active learning exercise. You can start your breakout groups here where Blackboard Collaborate will automatically put the students into different groups, but you can switch those students as well. You can change the group name to whatever you would like, and to switch the group, you just hit the 3 dots beside the member's name and you can move them to whatever group you would like. You can allow attendees to switch groups or not. And when you are ready, you hit the start button. It's really important that you hit the start button when you're ready to actually break them out into groups, because it will take them to their group. Once the students are in their group, they will only hear the audio and see the video of those members in the group. And yes, the instructors are able to move group to group to monitor the group's progress and to see how they are going along with the group exercise. I also recommend that you set a time limit while your students are in a group, and when they've reached that time limit, you can bring them all back to the main room and where you all can talk about that. Next is your attendees tab. This you can detach the panel if you would like, and this gives you a good health check of all of your students, their connectivity, how they're doing, and you can change the role as well. If you have a course where your students will need to be presenting, then you can make them a presenter, and it gives them a little more capabilities within the Collaborate platform. And next is your chat window. Here you can write in the chat. You can have your students also ask questions in the chat. You can use emojis here. You can ask the students to give a thumbs up if you ask a question or if they're ready to move along. So this is a great way to monitor your students on how they're grasping the knowledge, and a great way for them to ask questions as well. Move over to the sessions menu. When you open the sessions menu, this is where you can start recording your session, and the recording will be available under your Blackboard course where you hit join room. All your recordings will be under there. Also, another great feature about Blackboard Collaborate is if for some reason a student does not have audio, they can dial this number and they have their own unique PIN. Now this PIN changes every single time you log in, so you're not able to give out this PIN because it won't work. But every student has their own unique PIN. So for some reason they lose audio, they can dial in and still hear you. Another backup plan, because in the online environment we all need a backup to the backup. If for some reason your student completely loses all internet access where they can't get into Blackboard at all, you can always call CALM and they can set up a Meet Me line number for your course where your students call that Meet Me line number and they can hear you as well. As the instructor, you'll just always have that Meet Me line opened on the telephone. You can also use freeconferencecall.com. That's another option that works very well. You can have that conference line open during your session. So at any time if your students lose audio or complete connectivity, they can go ahead and call that phone line as well. And here's your leave session button when you're ready to leave your session. And finally, down here, this is your My Status and Settings. If you click on this, it's a great way where you can get instant feedback from your students. They can change their status and then it changes their little face next to their face. You can also tell the instructor that they can go faster or maybe they need to slow down. And also you can tell your students that you are away. This is a nice feature if you are putting your students on break, a 10-minute break, they can easily put the I'm away, and then when they come back, they can simply say I'm back, and you can get along with your session. Your status also will go away on its own. It's on a timer, as you can see down on the bottom, and it will change back to normal whenever that timer is up. You can also have agree and disagree if you want to ask your students questions, a quick yes, no, or agree or disagree questions as well. And here's your mic, your share audio, your share video, and your raise hand button. And this is where the students can raise their hand if they have a question. These are all of the features that Blackboard Collaborate offers to you, and I hope this video helped you out to give you a quick tour so you're ready for your next online course. Thank you so much and enjoy your online courses. Bye.